Hi Maker, this is Claire from Eclair Makery, and today I'm going to teach you how to sew on appliques to crochet pieces. Here I have a granny square and then a little butterfly applique that I'm going to show you how to stitch onto your square. So there's two different ways to do this. One is you take a strand of yarn that matches the outside of your applique. So I've got this one that matches, and then you're going to thread it through a yarn needle like so, and then we're going to create a knot at the end by taking the end and then draping it and holding it with our thumb, and then we're going to wrap it once, twice, 3 and 4 times. And then we're going to push that down and pull our needle through, and this forms a little knot on the end of our piece. So that is one way we can do it with that. Another way is if you want to use the yarn ends from crocheting your applique, and you can just leave those on there and use them to sew around the edges if you don't want to use any extra yarn strands. But both ways work. It's just whatever is your preference for how you want to get the yarn to use. So once you have your yarn on your yarn needle, you're going to want to position your applique right where you want it to be. I'm centering mine. And then we are going to start sewing this on. So the first way to do this is we can insert our needle from the bottom of our square and go through one stitch, and then we're going to go up through another stitch on the edge of our applique, and we're going to pull that yarn all the way through and then insert it down into the next stitch over through the applique and the square. And so this creates a little stitch, and this is a technique that you can use when it's the same color around like the whole applique, so your yarn is going to blend in. So you just repeat that all the way around, going up and down through your stitches to sew this down. So then another way that you can do this is an invisible way. I'll go ahead and I'm just gonna sew it a little bit over doing that technique I just showed you to get closer, and then I'll show you how to do the invisible way. So you'll do the same thing of inserting your needle up through, and then you go through 2 back loops on your applique. So 1 and 2. So it's not going up through the whole thing. You're just going through 2 loops on the back of your applique. So then you're going to pull your yarn through and then insert your needle down through your square. And so what this does is it creates an invisible seam, so you can use any color of yarn you want. And if your applique is a lot of different colors, then this can help it blend in when you are sewing. So you go through the 2 back loops on your applique and pull your yarn through, and then insert your needle back down through your square. And so those are 2 common methods to sew appliques onto your pieces. Just do whatever your preference is, and then you can sew all the way around the edge, and I will show you how you can fasten off when you're all done sewing. Once you have finished sewing all the way around your applique, you're going to flip your square over and we're going to fasten it off. So you can insert your needle through one of the loops on the back of your square, and then we're going to wrap our yarn around our needle, push the needle up and pull it through, and this forms a knot to fasten it off. And that is how you sew an applique onto any crochet project you have. Well, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos, and I will see you next time. Bye!